If you didn't shit yourself, you've got more balls than I do.
Hey guys, it's Rift, and today I thought I would bring my analysis on Nacht Der Untoten. It's an idea, just a running series I have, maybe make some more of them in the future if this one works really well. Just going through, giving my thoughts and opinions, and breaking down the maps to see if they hold up even to this day, looking through an objective as well as subjective lens. With that being said, starting with the first ever map, Nacht Der Untoten. Nacht was the first zombies map releasing all the way back with World at War as a reward for beating the campaign. You were thrusted right into this map, no context, no build up, no nothing, and later on it released as the separate game mode. Or I believe it was the game mode on launch, but you know, you get the point. This map offered very little content. However, one thing that it did offer was impeccable atmosphere. I think that this is one of the rare instances where the slow zombie spawns work to the map's favour, where for the first 1 or 2 rounds, you are taking in the immersion of the map. You are isolated, alone, and you hear sounds coming from the fog. These low, rasping growls coming from out of nowhere, the desolate wasteland of what used to be an active battlefield. All there is now is just these shambling corpses slowly making their way towards your location, and you've got to defend yourself with nothing but a starting pistol. However, as you play the map, you realise there are weird chalk drawings on the wall, which can magically generate weapons out of nowhere. There is a blessing or cursed mystery box, where you can, for a small fee of 950 points, this random currency that no one ever questions, you can get a random weapon. You might get something good, you might get something great, you might get something shit. You get the point. That's basically all there is to Nacht in terms of content. You have the wall weapons, you have the mystery box, you have a bunker that is 3 rooms large, or small I guess, and that's basically all you have to work with. It's a very primitive map, however it got the job done on launch, in introducing you and hooking the player base onto what would be the most, in my opinion at least, the most successful game mode that Call of Duty has ever had. So what does Nacht Der Untoten do really well? Well, as I mentioned before, the atmosphere is impeccable. The World at War version of Nacht Der Untoten's atmosphere is absolutely fantastic. The sounds alone are enough to immerse you. However, everything from the dilapidated bunker to the terrifying barren wasteland that used to be the active battlefields, during the battles of World War II. Terrifying. You then have the zombie sounds. I don't know what it is about these zombies, but the sounds that the World at War zombies make is just unlike any other. And I don't know if it was specific to Nacht Der Untoten, however, no other map, aside from maybe Verrückt, has been able to match the horror, isolation, and terror that you feel playing this map. It really does carry the map in my opinion, as, well, there's really nothing else to carry the map. Again, I don't want to rag on Nacht too much, as there's really no bad qualities about the map, but at the same time, there's not really many qualities at all. It's just a very primitive beginning to zombies. However, one thing that I will fault the map for and criticize are the slow zombie spawns. Now, yes, for the first 2 rounds or so, the slow zombie spawns are actually a blessing in disguise, as they help assist the immersion. However, round 3 and onwards, they are a pain in the arse. The zombies just spawn in far too far away from the map, that even when they eventually start sprinting, it still takes forever to actually play the game. It takes like roughly, 2 hours or so just to get to round 30? It's a pain in the arse. This problem is made even worse by the fact that it was never patched. Nacht Der Untoten has been remade more times than any other map in COD Zombies. It was brought back into Black Ops 1 with the Resurrection Zombies pack, along with the other World at War maps, as well as Moon. It appeared in Transit, as, a small section of, one of the worst maps of all time. It appeared in Black Ops 3 with Zombies Chronicles alongside the other 2 World at War maps. And it made its way into Cold War, kind of, with D Machine being part of the map layout, and as well into Forsaken being a minigame. It's been remade a shit ton of times, and with pretty much every single version of that, aside from D Machine, the spawns have been awful. It drags the map down. There's really not much to the map to begin with, so when you have slow zombie spawns, it just makes a already bare bones map that much more boring. If I'm being completely honest, playing Nacht with friends is the most fun I could recommend with this map, as, you know, obviously playing it by yourself can get really boring. Playing it with friends, especially in the Black Ops 3 version, there is a lot of fun to be had, reliving the good old days if you like. Just, some people don't like how quest-focused Zombies was. Some people prefer like the World at War, Black Ops 1, early Black Ops 2 approach, where it was just get a gun, get some perks, pack a punch, and survive. Nacht Der Untoten is really the core element of that, as you don't have perks, pack a punch, or anything. You just have your gun, your buddies, which are optional, and you've just got to survive the best you can. I think the other World at War maps, if I'm being completely honest, do that way better. You have Verrückt, which is once again a claustrophobic, close map design, but it made up for it with the perks, the traps, you know, the teddy bear, the power switch, all those new additions. You had the Shinonuma, which also introduced the Wonderwolf, had traps with the Flogger, and it also introduced Hellhounds, and obviously Der Reich had a very good map layout for casuals, and it had the Pack-a-Punch machine. Nacht Der Untoten, even as a casual map, there's just better alternatives in World at War, unfortunately. Again, there's really not much to talk about, so what I do want to mention quickly is my favourite versions of Nacht. My least favourite version's probably the Black Ops 1 version. It sacrifices the atmosphere for Mule Kick and the Thunder Gun. Then I'd probably say the Forsaken version. It's just a lackluster minigame, clearly thrown in for fan service. Nacht Der Untoten in World at War. Next up, you know, it's decent. The atmosphere really carries the map though, there's not that much to it. My favourite version is undeniably the Chronicles version. I think that the Wonder Fizz and Gobblegums really elevated this map, made it very, very fun. However, even this version wasn't, you know, free from criticisms. Obviously the slow zombie spawns were a pain in the arse, and it just didn't quite have the same atmosphere that the original map did. In conclusion, Nacht Der Untoten succeeded at what it had to succeed at. It introduced the world to the world of Call of Duty Zombies. It instantly gripped and immersed people with its near perfect atmosphere, and it is a fun game mode to replay from time to time. However, there are glaring issues with the map. From a modern perspective, there isn't all that much to the map. There's no perks, pack-a-punch, gobblegums, fate fortune cards, elixirs, you name it, there's nothing here. It's literally just war weapons, the box, and your skills. And that's all it had to be. That's all the world needed it to be. However, from a modern perspective and in retrospect, yeah, Nacht definitely doesn't hold up to this day.